Hey y'all, it's Sheila. Thank you for stopping by and spending a few minutes of your day with me. Yes, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas around here. Yes, I start before Thanksgiving. I even have on a shirt that says Noel. I tend to get a little enthusiastic with my decorating around Christmas, before Christmas. Years past, we've had up to 15 Christmas trees in this house, and I've curbed my enthusiasm over the past years. Last year we only had 10. One year, my dear husband, he grumbles and mumbles a little bit when he has to help me store and unstore the Christmas decor. So one year I thought, I'm going to show him. I put up one tree and only put a few things out. And he came in the house and he goes, "That's it? That's it? That's all you're doing?" I'm like, "Well, you were fussing about helping me." He said, "That's it? It doesn't even feel like Christmas around here. You got to do more than that." He doesn't grumble as much anymore. He did make some faces the other day when I informed him that I had purchased a new 8.5 foot Christmas tree. But he loves it. It's up, it's out. He loves it. He loves all this stuff as much as I do. But what are we talking about today? We're talking about tooth whitening. First, let me say I've done 3 videos on this. Down through the last several months, I've had questions about this. I've done videos and I've deleted them all. I wouldn't put them up. And then a few videos back, I said, throw me some questions, and there, right out in front of everybody was, what do you recommend for tooth whitening? I am a former dental assistant. I do have very strong opinions and thoughts on this. But the first thing you need to know is the level of whiteness you're going to get with anything you use depends on the thickness of the enamel of your teeth. That's what determines it. There are also 2 types of stains, extrinsic and intrinsic. Extrinsic are outside stains like coffee and tea. Intrinsic stains are stains inside the tooth. Perhaps as a child you were treated for an illness with tetracycline. Those are stains inside the teeth that nothing will lighten or take away. They're just there. Bleaching may lighten some of it, but that will pretty much always be with you. I've been asked about this kit and that kit. I'm just going to come out and say it. Some of these at-home bleaching kits I do not like. I do not like the homemade kits. Here I go scratching because it's making me nervous talking about it. I've seen a lot of tooth whitening videos on YouTube. I don't like those at-home kits because those kits you put the mouth guard in boiling water and then you're doing like this trying to mold it to your mouth. That is a thick material and you cannot trim it down to where you have it just to your teeth. Then you put that bleaching gel in there and it gets on your gums. If you're using just a drugstore bleaching gel, you're not going to do a lot of damage. But some of y'all out there are pretty smart cookies and you've done some searching. Some of y'all have given me bleaching gels by their name. One of them is one I use that I get from my dentist, considered prescription, much like our beloved Retin-A that we find ways to get our hands on. You can get prescription type bleaching gels off the internet. And what I'm going to tell you is if you put some of those 35% carbamide peroxide gels in your homemade tray from the drugstore, you're going to burn your gums. And if your gums are already compromised due to a health condition, due to if you have some gum disease, if you're an overzealous brusher and you've caused gum recession, you just don't need that. So Sheila, what would you recommend? One of the safest things you can use to whiten your teeth at home are the bleaching strips that are sold in the drugstores. They have an acceptable amount of the bleaching material in them, and they come in various prices. You can get a brand name, and most of the drugstores have their generic. When you place those strips on your teeth, take them just to the top of your tooth. Don't run them up on your gum because they too can irritate your gums. Now, I don't like those homemade kits, but if you've done one and you're using it and it's working for you, then it's great. But I don't recommend, like one of y'all told me, I'm going to get this online. I don't recommend you get some of those high percentage of carbamide peroxide gels and using your homemade tray. I have seen a homemade kit. Susan from Little Poet did a video on a kit that was sent to her, and it's done just like it is in a dental office. You take your impressions at home, you send it back to the company, they pour a model, and they make your bleaching tray out of a thin material that it then is trimmed around each tooth. And when you put it in and put the prescribed amount of gel, it doesn't get all over your gums and irritate and burn them. So if you're not going to go that route, I would recommend the drugstore strips. It's safer. And if you use them too many days in a row, you might get some sensitivity. If you use them too long at a time, usually it's 30 minutes to an hour. If you get a little overzealous with that and you decide, I'm going to leave this thing in 4 or 5 hours, you might get some tooth sensitivity. Don't do that. Don't do that. Follow the instructions. And if you do it 3 or 4 days in a row and your teeth are sensitive, back off. Back off and just do it every couple of days. But the thickness of the enamel on your teeth is really what's going to determine how much your teeth whiten. Okay? Did I explain that well enough? Really all depends on your enamel. Y'all have a great day. Make it a great day. I'll see y'all later. Bye now.